All right, welcome to the recap of our Elite Austin event. It was a wild event, and one of the speakers that everybody seemed to really love for lots of reasons is Tami Price. So we have Tami, and we're going to go kind of over her slides today. Ian, what did you think about her talk?
Well, it wasn't that people seemed to love. People were elated for her talk, and it's because Google Business Profile. It is one of those things that you can use right now. You don't have to spend any money. And it's something that not a lot of people know about. And so there's definitely some opportunity for reach. You can get people to call you. So Tami's going to go over that for us today.
So Tami, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we did this event, and a lot of the feedback, like Ian said, was everybody was really happy. I want to go through some of your slides, but tell us like some of the major points that you wanted to really hound home when you did this.
Free tool provided by Google. And if you create your profile, manage it, and feed it consistently, it can become a lead generation machine for you organically. Nothing paid, 100% free.
I love it. 100% free. Ian, I love the way that sounds. Let me pull up your slides here.
That sounds pretty good.
I'm all about the free, guys.
Yeah.
So your talk, you started off by talking about how much you've done in business just from Google Business in the last year. You know, can you imagine, Ian, adding another $12 million to your bottom line? I mean, $12 billion GCI, 332,000 from a, how much was this lead source again, Tami?
Free.
$3.99.
$3.99.
Well,
so
I think we're in a market right now where a lot of agents don't have the traction that they had 2 years ago, or they were COVID babies where they're brand new agents. And so they've only been in the business for a year or two, and every business was just coming to them.
Right.
Well, that's slowed down. We know that. That's one of the reasons why we put on the event, is to kind of help people. And when Tami dropped this bombshell that, Jeremy and I have been privileged to, but once she dropped this bombshell, the room's jaws dropped. Everybody loves it.
Yes, absolutely. And I think a lot of people did what I did initially, right? They created this profile because someone said, go out there, claim your profile or create it on Google. And then they just left it, did nothing with it. And one of the, some of the feedback I got from people in the audience was, hey, I had no idea that you could add questions and answers, that you can create products, that you can do updates and get spammy with them, right? They just heard, go out, create a profile, and hope that someone would find it on Google.
What I love about what you put in your slides, and this is really, I think, eye-opening to most people, is that there are 8.5 billion searches a day. And by the way, amazing job on these slides. I would say really yours stood out the most because you could actually read them. Some people were tougher to see. But 40% of the leads that come through are conducted on local intent, right? So they're looking locally. What does that mean for you?
So for me, it means that when people are conducting these localized searches, 46% of them are looking for a business in their local area, right? They go on Google, they type in best realtor near me, top realtor near me, military agent near me. They are looking for someone in their backyard to work with, right? They can even get as specific as San Antonio or Austin, Texas. And if you have worked on your profile, optimizing all the sections, then the chances of Google pushing you into those search results organically is pretty high.
So 93% are triggered by local search on the map pack. So what does that mean as far as like being on the map? So when I set up my Google business profile, I have, I can either do it as a service area or a location. Does having an actual location make a difference?
Having an actual physical location makes a substantial difference, because those folks with local addresses will come up higher in search results. And because they are a location-based business, it will trigger that map pack. The map pack features 3 to 4 businesses prominently. But the one thing I left that audience with is, even if you don't come up in the local map pack, managing the various sections of your Google business profile will still help you rank organically and be found. I don't show up in the local map pack. I'm competing with major brokerages here in the local area. So even though I don't appear in the local map pack, I still am able to attract a significant amount of business.
Amazing.
Yep.
I love it.
Ian, do you show up on the local map pack?
I don't show up on a local map pack. And it's one of those things that every single time I hear Tami give some kind of conversation about Google, about her Google presence, I think, man, I have work to do every single time.
From the guy that geotags photos everywhere and is like
I do. Listen,
a Google whiz.
I have 140 million views on videos and stuff all over the place, but it's not, I'm going to say it this way. What Tami is doing is more powerful and relevant for direct targeting,
right?
Specifically for direct targeting. I may get business on a whim and it's a good clout mechanism, but this is direct business. You know, they're calling for you right away.
Absolutely. I think are you referencing like the local guide?
Oh yeah. I'm
Yes.
top 1% local guide in Austin.
Right. Yeah. So completely different from managing your Google business profile. Mm-hmm.
So walk us through then. Okay, so somebody gets started. What should be, I mean, I don't want to kill your slides here, but what should be the first things that people do when they get on here and they're actually utilizing this tool?
The first thing is you have to create your profile and make sure that when you're adding to it, you have a great business category. Google will allow you to set a primary business category and then subcategories. I think people walk through that first step. They create their main business category, which I recommend setting as real estate agency, but they forget to go back in and edit their profile and add in those subcategories. For each category, Google also allows you to populate services. It's very important to populate all the services you provide under each category and then go in and build out the description for those categories. Next, they want to make sure that they are putting in a really good business description that is keyword heavy, so that when someone's conducting a search, that profile is triggered to come into those results. Also, optimizing their profile name or title is huge. I'm a huge believer in when you're setting the name of your profile, you have to have your name in that profile. If you're a team and your team name is not captured, your real name is not captured in your team name, I highly encourage to set up as your name and then mention your team name in the business description. You also want to hit on location in your profile title. So with me, mine is Tami Price Properties Group, brokered by Real Broker LLC, San Antonio, Texas. I capture several things in my profile title that really help with that profile optimization. And then we look at some of the sections there. Getting those keyword rich reviews and responding to them are also going to be very, very important for ranking.
Well, let's talk about some keywords, because that's your next slide. We've got a few things. I know you've identified nouns, verbs, and modifiers. Which of those do you focus on the most of the three?
So
nouns, verbs, or modifiers?
I primarily focus on the nouns and the verbs. For the modifiers, those I'm hoping come into play when people are writing reviews, right?
Okay.
I do hit on some of those in like the descriptions of my services and in some of the updates that I provide. But when we're working with our update section, we really want to have these keywords showing up in there: buying, selling, leasing, listing, investing, talking about real estate, realtor, house, home, name and occupation. I actually sign many of my updates So when we're asking for reviews, we can train our clients on how to give a great review, right? We can have them hit on those nouns, those verbs, and those modifiers.
I love it.
That's really good because, one thing I run into when I'm sending out reviews, and I'd love to see how you set the stage for that. But I notice sometimes when I'm sending out, hey, send us a review, it's very lacking SEO words, right? So words are going to be like Jeremy and Eileen, the night group, bought a home in Austin, or Dripping Springs. So what are you doing to make sure that people hit those SEO words in the writing review?
So we send out a link to a Canva landing page that asks them to not only provide a review, but we ask them to share their experience with us on, how did the buying experience go? What were the things that stood out about Tami's knowledge, her experience, things of that nature. Where did you buy the home? You can reference the city, the neighborhood. So we put a lot of information in there on how they can best write a review.
Amazing. So I guess the next question then is all right, I'm getting my Google business profile set up. How important is it, or how important are just reviews by themselves versus, well, and I'm sure you're going to talk about geotagging and putting on photos and then all of the other add-ons. How important are all the little pieces to get this thing running importantly?
I think reviews really rank up there fairly high, right? Because that gives you that social proof and that credibility and increases your visibility. It's not only the number of reviews, but the quality of those reviews as well. Now, geotagging used to be a really big thing until Google started stripping away the metadata from the photos. So I no longer recommend geotagging photos for Google specifically, but you can do them for your website, your blog posts. But when you upload photos on your Google business profile, Google is now stripping that metadata away. And it's one of those things that I felt when it was working really helped increase my location authority in areas that moved further and further away from my physical location.
This is kind of lateral to the topic, but I bet they did that so that they could focus more on the local guides, right?
Probably.
They said, let me get rid of the metadata here so that way more local guides are giving free photos for them.
Oh yeah. Pay to play.
Yeah, pay to play. That's fun.
Yeah.
So what's this next slide? We've got, it's just showcasing when you put in your,
the performance.
Okay, that's good.
Google provides us with some fantastic performance insights. I tell people when they're just starting out, it's great to take a screenshot of each of their performance indicators. You can get an overview that will show you, all the interactions on your profiles. You can look at the number of calls, messages, bookings, people that request directions, and how many times they go to your website. I have been working in my profile now since October of 21. And you can see that over time, the number of interactions that I have, they still trend upward year over year. 97 direct clicks to my website in the month of July alone. And then you can look at how many times your profile has been viewed on mobile versus desktop, in the app, and on local searches. You can also get some insights onto what words triggered Google to push your profile into search results.
So in your expert opinion, what looks good for somebody who's never done this and they've spent a good 3 to 6 months on it? What is a good target that they can shoot for with the data set?
I think when you're looking at starting out with a goose egg, right? Every month, if you're getting at least 50 to 100 more views, right? It takes time. It takes time. I didn't go from 0 to 2,500 a month in a short period of time. It took time. I love it because some of the people who are taking my course, they send me screenshots. The cutest one is Matt Patullo. He sent me a screenshot of when he started, and then he sent me one after taking my course and working on it for a month. And I want to say that he was up to, from a very small number to about 200.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Very
Yeah.
good.
But he's committed. He's shown me how many times he's scheduling updates to occur today, and just so it's not something that you can create and then just leave. You need to work in it consistently.
I feel like that's where I literally, so this morning on one of my stories, I actually talked about this is, a lot of us get into this trend where we start a project and within 2 months, we don't see the result we want. And we bounce out. And part of it is we're not doing the small things daily. It's small daily things, right? You're talking about having to maybe upload a few pictures a day. And then you're talking about, geotagging some stuff, putting up a client, reaching out every day to get Google reviews, reaching out and putting, updates and things on your thing. So I think it's really important that people understand that you're not going to get business right away from any lead source, but it will take a couple months. And after a couple months, and here's the same thing. I've been doing this for a little bit, and I'm starting to consistently get leads from Google Business Profiles, thanks to Tami's class, by the way, which we'll give you the link for that later if you want to pay for her class. She might have a promo code still, maybe, we'll see. But let's go to the next slide here. It's not this one. Let's talk about strategies.
Yes. So again, covered this.
Strategies.
This is your business categories. These are the ones that you can select and manage your services under. But yeah, I talked about that. And one of the ways that you can see how to best do it is go look at your competitors' profiles. See what they have listed on Google Maps. You can actually see a competitor's services that they offered. And if they put in a description, you can read that. Your business profile title, you have up to 750 characters. I suggest you go into ChatGPT, put in some information, and let it write you a well-optimized business description.
Ooh, I like that. So when you're doing that for ChatGPT, how many prompts are you giving it to actually give you something good?
So when I go in there, I identify myself. My name is Tami Price. I'm a local San Antonio realtor with over 16 years of experience. I list homes, I sell homes, and I give it as much information as possible, but then I ask it to write me a short business description under 750 characters, and then I play with that.
So I noticed that you said local. So do you say San Antonio? Do you say some of the suburbs of San Antonio? I noticed you don't say Texas.
No, I really harp on niching down to San Antonio. I will say local San Antonio realtor. I don't mention Texas in many of my updates because I want San Antonio, those people looking in San Antonio, right?
Yeah. Do you do zip codes at all?
I do zip codes from time to time. Mainly I do those when I am creating an update. I will create an update, let's say for a listing, I will put the full address in there, including the zip code, because when Google's looking behind the scenes, I want it to find that information and push me into search results for people who are looking in specific zip codes.
And that brings me to the next slide, which we're talking about. You talked about reviews equal rankings, and then you go over reviews in general. So can we jump to your conversation about reviews? Like, why is that relevant?
Reviews are relevant because they rank higher. Reviews equal rankings. You can have, and it's funny because you can have someone who has a 5-star review and only have 20 reviews, and they'll show up ahead of someone with 120 reviews if their rating is a 2.5, right? So when you're looking at how Google uses reviews to put you in search results, The higher the number, great. But the higher the ranking, even better. Those keyword rich reviews will work for SEO. And so I always encourage people to get as many reviews, as many 5-star reviews as possible, and not just the rating. You need to have the actual written review behind it.
Beautiful.
So one thing I like on the slide you put up here, 2 questions here. You have a response. Should you respond to the first question, should you respond to every review?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Even the negative ones, right? Because sometimes people will write a negative review on you and you didn't work with them. Google may not take it out, but the more you respond to your reviews, you're offered an opportunity, one, to add more keyword rich words into there. And then you can, people review what you wrote. And if you're thanking your clients, if you're talking about how wonderful it was to work with them, offering to be of assistance in the future if they need it, if it's a negative review and you are professionally responding to it and addressing any concerns, then that shows a level of professionalism on your part, even when you want to respond in a way that's not necessarily so positive.
I love that. So another thing that was a really popular part of the conversation was your services. When you did that, everybody was like, oh, can you tell me more about this? Can you explain this a little bit better? But I know that you go over this well in your course. And so I don't want to spend too much time on that. But if anybody's interested in learning more about how the services can impact, because Tami has a ton of different services, you're going to have to check out her course for that. So let's move over to photos.
Well, I like this though, because buying agent services, first-time home buyer service, luxury property buying and sales. Holy crap. And then you wrote each one of those. Tami's, oh, freak, this is amazing. Tami Price brings a wealth of experience. New construction services, property buying. I'm gonna screenshot this and use this.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna send this to my assistant right now. One thing, I mean, this is amazing. So one thing I want to talk about though, before we do that, Ian, before photos, is the reviews. Number 2 on here, you wrote repurpose reviews, copy and paste them. So you could take this, and this goes right into what Ian's talking about, is photos. You could go into Canva, take that review, or even take the Zillow reviews that you have. Like you said, offer people Starbucks and all that to take them to the review. So if you have reviews on Zillow, have them take to your Google business profile, offer coffee. But taking those, making a Canva thing, and then having, like, you could have even a VA add to your account and just keep posting those as well. And so that leads us to photos. That's amazing repurposing. And you can put that on Instagram or wherever else you want.
Everywhere, right? And if you want to triple dip on that, take it a step further. Take that Canva image after you've posted it as a photo on your Google business profile. Now you can go into your updates, upload the Canva image, copy the review. I will normally say something to the effect that happy clients make me happy. Check out our latest review. And then I'll paste that review in the body of that description, right? Again, because Google's constantly searching behind the scenes, and put that in, post that with a call to action of call me, right? And so now I have the photo image with an update and a call to action. There's so many ways to leverage one piece of content.
Very
good. And the photo stuff's pretty interesting as well, because on here you wrote, remember, businesses with photos get 42% more direction requests and 35% more clicks to their websites. So that's pretty important, because if you have those reviews as photos, and then maybe you take like a really nice house as the background, and then you put the review over the top of there, or get super crazy with it, like, you could do a lot with those photos. And from what you're writing here, it's going to make a huge difference.
It does. And I'll tell you, when I first started working with my profile, back when it was Google My Business, the only thing I understood was geotagging photos when it was a big deal, right? So that's what I did. I went back and I geotagged photos from 2021 back to 2016 of every single listing I had. And all I did was add photos because I didn't understand anything else. Within 2 months, I had a buyer who pulled me up on Google Maps and walked to my office shortly after 5 p.m. in the evening. I was packing up to leave, but when they walked to the office, I did an impromptu buyer's consultation with this gentleman, and he closed on his home in February of 2022. That's my very first lead, only doing photos, right?
You know,
Google doesn't display how many photos accurately that I have uploaded during this time frame. I'm pushing in the neighborhood of 14,000 photos.
wow. You know what you
Yes.
could do with that story? You can give a 30-second or a 29-second synopsis of that story and share that in your video section of Google too.
Yes.
Right?
You know? So
Absolutely.
I think this was another that big one because so many people are doing shorts and reels and there are a few seconds here and there. And I'm not saying that it's always appropriate to, but when you announce to people that you could take those and repurpose them so they don't have to create new ones, that went over very well.
Oh, absolutely. Because you can upload it as that video as a under the photo tab, and then you can do it in the update section with a thumbnail of the video or the video, and showcase it that way.
Yeah.
For you YouTubers, your thumbnail as an update, an announcement or introduction to your video, the link under call to action for learn more, and now you're pushing them to your YouTube channel.
For us YouTubers that do that, that makes a lot of sense. And, it would make a lot of sense if you took that into a. So what I do is I create a blog on my website. So I take the blog, and then I take so my assistant creates the blog, and then she takes over and puts it into an update.
Yes.
So the blog is in an update. Talk to us real quick about updates and how that works.
Updates is my absolute favorite section. So updates give you the opportunity to create mini advertisements multiple times a day. I tell people, go ahead and start with doing 2 to 3 a day. I do anywhere from 8 to 10. It's the one place where you can get absolutely spammy about real estate, buying, selling, investing, work with a trusted agent, right? You can include it with your update. You can actually include up to 10. Updates can be up to 1,500 characters long. I advise trying to keep it at or about 300. Never ever put your phone number on the photo or include contact information in the body of your update because they give you calls to action for that.
That's huge.
Get spammy with Tami is my thing on there.
All right, so we want to jump into products next. The reason why so I like the updates, but I personally think the products are a little more fun. And the reason why is because you could probably have an entire course just on this, on the variety of products that you have available. So I'll give an example. I did a neighborhood video on YouTube that I created as a product for different neighborhoods. So that was a good upload for me, but I didn't do the update. Missed that. I know.
You want to know what we did? I had my VA create from Chime, because we have Chime at Real Broker.
Yep.
A whole page that was nothing but an active list of all the homes over $1 million. Beautiful. And so we did a whole product looking for homes over $1 million. Check this out.
Right.
I have a guy who's ready to develop a whole development. We're talking 73 lots that are from an acre to 4 acres in lots, and he found it from there.
See? Yeah, on mine I have,
wow.
While I concentrate on San Antonio, on mine I've broken down landing pages for specific suburbs of San Antonio, homes for sale in Selma, Schertz, Cibolo, Live Oak, Converse, Myco, Bernie, Fair Oaks. And when they click on that product, it takes them specifically to a landing page for that suburb only.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yep.
Well,
we have next.
I don't want to give the rest of Tammy's secrets away. I mean, she
No,
did
of
such a
course
good
not.
job.
Absolutely.
She's got a few more slides here. We're going to save that for her course because I think the next couple slides are really important. But overall, Tammy, if somebody's getting into Google Business Profiles, what would be just the 5 quick tips of things that you would recommend them to do? Because we kind of went over it. So you're just going to hit it one more time pretty much, I think. You tell me.
Yep. So first, create your profile to the nth degree. One thing Google did recently was add the ability for you to manually input your social links, which is huge. So make sure you're going through all the steps to set up your profile 100%. Start working on getting reviews, creating updates, adding photos, creating products, and seeding that questions and answers section.
So, Ian, what do you think people should do if they have more questions about Tammy's course?
I mean, the easy answer is to buy her course, but fortunately, there's a discount code here, right? Because while Tammy is always available to help with this, her time is valuable. You should see the number of conversations people reach out to her and expect her to do this for free. This is
Right.
she put a lot of time, a lot of work into creating a very robust course. So buy it for yourself, buy it for your VAs, your friends, and in the industry. This is huge.
Yep, and that discount code is available to the next 23 people that sign up.
23. So if
2
you're
have
watching,
already used the code
nice.
today.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to jump on and be 23 or number 3 because I'm gonna buy it for my assistant. That way we can roll on this. But Tammy, where can people reach out to you if they have more questions?
They can reach out to me on Instagram, Tammy Sells San Antonio, because Ian says I need to start being on Instagram more.
Yes.
That's not what I said.
And I think
said you're already-
you should do more videos at disappearing text too. So
Yes.
and backflips.
Yes.
All right, everybody.
I
Thank
can't
you
do
for
the
the time.
backflip, but I can stick the landing.
I can jump into a pool. I can get that one done. All right, everybody. I appreciate the time. If you enjoyed Elite Agents, drop a comment below. Tell us how much you like it. Go to my Google Business and write a review. Tammy, write a review on hers. Ian as well. And I'll link all of those below. But thank you so much. And Tammy, thanks for doing a recap. Really appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you guys for putting on one amazing event. I had a great time and learned so much from the other speakers. Yeah, I'm diving deep into all things AI right now.
Very good. Thank you so much, Tammy.
Yeah,
All right.
and great job, Ian. We did a bang up job on that. I remember halfway through the day going like, holy crap, this thing is way better than I thought it was going to be. So kudos to you, buddy.
To you too. It was incredible. You put in a ton of work. We put in a ton of work. The speakers put in a ton of work. I think everybody was impressed by how it went. So very excited for the next.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And if you like this video,